Everything explained in this video is summarized from the CoinMarketCap. And also, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for future XRP news and some other cryptocurrency news in general. Now, take a look at this. Ripple and SEC appeal date confirm. XRP experiences decline. Before we move further, there is a new crypto airdrop now taking place on Telegram, which is about to launch anytime soon. Please make sure you participate in this airdrop. The link is in the description of the video. Don't miss out on this. Now let's continue with our video. Confusion has arisen as a result of the continuing litigation between Ripple and the SEC, as reports have been disseminated throughout social media regarding the time for the SEC to submit its appeal. Many investors in XRP were left wondering whether the Securities and Exchange Commission had missed the deadline after initial allegations stated that the final date was October 16. However, Eleanor Terrett, a reporter for Fox Business, has stated that the formal date for the filing is the 18th of October. Specifics of the appeal in the case between Ripple and the SEC as a result of the ambiguity that had surrounded the formal filing deadline, which many people believe to be October 2, the submission deadline has been extended to October 16 as the maximum date for submissions. It has come to light that the appeal was submitted on October 4th, which means that the deadline for the Securities and Exchange Commission to provide more papers has been extended until October 18th. As a result of this delay, the value of XRP experienced a momentary jump as speculation among investors suggested that the SEC would withdraw from the lawsuit. Nevertheless, after the deadline of October 18 was confirmed, there was a minor decrease of 1% in the value of XRP. The continuous legal struggle with the SEC is causing the price of XRP to decrease, which symbolizes XRP. When it comes to the XRP coin sign, the attention is on the CC still has time to file an appeal. There is still time for the SEC to file its appeal before the official deadline of October 18, even though many people feared that the SEC might have missed its opportunity. Following the filing of the SEC, Ripple will have a window of 7 days to respond. Following this period, both parties will be required to reach a consensus on a timetable for the case to move forward. The Securities and Exchange Commission might then be granted an extra 90-day briefing period. The case may terminate in 2025. Experts now believe that the final decision on the Ripple SEC issue may not arrive until the end of 2025. This is because the matter has been going back and forth in the court system. It is strongly recommended that investors maintain their patience as both parties proceed through the appeals procedure. The continued developments in this high-profile case will continue to have an impact on the value of XRP, and it is anticipated that both parties will significantly contribute to the development of the cryptocurrency market in the future. Ashley Prosper, a key figure in the industry, has clarified the confusion that has been surrounding the appeal deadline for Ripple versus the SEC. This has caused the XRP community to be buzzing with excitement. The timeliness of the SEC's Form C filing is the subject of 3 important documents that are currently in circulation, each of which leads to a different interpretation of the situation. When the SEC first established the issue of appeal or no appeal, it now seems fishy that they missed the deadline, and the scenario is becoming increasingly intense. Let's get a grasp on the most important documents so that we can understand the actual situation. A disintegration of documents and a confusion. There are 3 different documents that Prosper discusses to provide light on the situation. Document 1 is a reference to the acknowledgement and notice of appearance form, which has a deadline of October 18 but is not connected to Form C in any way. The docket entries for the appeal that was filed in the Second Circuit are described in Document 2. According to Prosper, reliance on the docket date would be not only deceptive but also unjust because delays caused by technical issues could unfairly extend the period. It is the 3rd document on the docket of the district court that is the most important. According to the information provided, the notice of appeal was submitted on October 2nd, which indicates that the deadline for the submission of Form C was October 16th. Based on the date that the district court filed its documents, Prosper concludes that the Securities and Exchange Commission missed its deadline. In a subsequent post, Prosper restates that the 14-day clock started on October 2nd, which means that the deadline is on October 16th. Some questions have been raised throughout the community as a result of the SEC's failure to meet this deadline. While some contend that this procedural error will not result in an automatic dismissal, such as others concede the possibility of certain penalties such as warnings or fines. On the other hand, Mark Fagel, former attorney for the Securities and Exchange Commission, indicated that the deadline for filing, which is 14 days, might not be as stringent as it seems and that the court might extend it. Although the CC may have missed the deadline, he assuaged the community's concerns by assuring them that this does not mean they're giving up on the appeal. In its notice of appeal, which was submitted on October 2nd, the Securities and Exchange Commission intends to contest a decision that involves fines totaling $125 million. As of October 4, the case was posted to the docket of the Second Circuit Court, which means that the Securities and Exchange Commission still has time to file the appropriate documents for the appeal. According to Prosper, the Securities and Exchange Commission ought to have submitted a request for an extension if they required additional time. The missed deadline may constitute a substantial procedural error for the Securities and Exchange Commission if there is no justifiable technical issue. That is, there is a catch. In an ex post, Eleanor Terrett, a writer for Fox Business, provided clarification that the filing deadline for the Securities and Exchange Commission was first believed to be October 16th. This is according to Ripple's general counsel and other attorneys, having said that attorneys Jeremy Hogan and Terrett disclosed that the true deadline is October 18 at 11:59 p.m. This is because the appeal wasn't docketed until October 4th. By standard legal practice, the docketed date, rather than the filing date, is often used to determine the beginning of the 14-day limit for filing an appeal. There are a lot of perspectives, but there is no solid explanation that can be found at this time, so we will have to wait and see what happens next. Remain in contact with us, which will outline its primary legal points. There is a high probability that the submission will be made by the middle of January 2025, as the legal team for Ripple believes that the SEC will use the entire 90-day period. The current legal struggle between the SEC and Ripple may have a detrimental impact on the price of XRP. It is anticipated that the appeals process would take a considerable amount of time since Ripple and the SEC are both getting ready to provide extensive arguments. Eleanor Terrett, a journalist for Fox Business, recently revealed portions from a chat she had with Stuart Alderodi, the chief legal officer of Ripple, regarding the continuing litigation between Ripple and the SEC and the appeal process. The anticipated sequence of events and steps was detailed by Terrett. SC appeal timeline. Tomorrow is the last day for the SEC to submit Form C, which requires the organization to describe its appeal. By submitting this form, the SEC will give preliminary information regarding its appeal strategy. Ripple's cross-appeal. 7 days after the SEC's filing, Ripple will submit its own Form C via which it will spell out the specifics of its cross-appeal. A briefing timetable will then be agreed upon by both sides after the discussion has been completed. The information that has been provided is not intended to be trading advice. There is no responsibility for any investments that are made based on the information that is provided on this page. Before making any decision about investments, we strongly advise conducting independent research and consulting with a knowledgeable professional.